Hello. I am going to give you co-hosting abilities so that you can turn your camera on. Fantastic. You are co-host. Hi, by the way, I'm Alex.
Hey, I'm Levi. It's really good to meet you.
You too. So I'm going to be kind of moving in between the rooms because we are short on tech support, so I'm multitasking.
No problem.
So I guess, are you familiar with Zoom? Do you know how to screen share and PowerPoints, chat, stuff like that?
Yes, and let's see. I see my co-founder, my partner here. Oh, I can admit her. So she's there. Oh, cool. And is this going to be recorded?
Yes, it is.
Oh, awesome.
There's a waiting room. I'm going to make you the host. Well, actually, let me make Martha the co-host.
Okay.
And then I'm going to make you the host so that I can move around without disrupting your presentation. Okay. So yes. Okay, perfect. So essentially, this is just operating as a regular Zoom room. And so you'll have the option to use the chat function and engage with, you'll see participants in the room with you, unlike a webinar where you're kind of removed. And so we did that as a way to kind of create more dialogue in the theme rooms. And so there is a waiting room. And so you'll see as people pop in, there'll be a little notification. You can just admit them whenever you're ready to start. So I guess at 1 would be when you can do that. And people will be moving in and out because we have 4 consecutive presentations.
Okay, but we need to actually manually let people in order for them to make it.
Yes, and we did ask to have a tech TA here to help you with that. And so if they have one available, they'll be here to help you admit people. But if not, then you may need to let in some people at the very beginning, right when they show up.
Okay.
But it gives you a little notification.
Yeah. I can do that while you're speaking if people pop in, okay?
That's great, Martha. And I'd never seen it. I just saw it pops up like on the upper right-hand corner of Zoom, and there's a little blue admit button.
Yeah.
So
you can also click participants and it'll show you in the column who's waiting to come in. So that's another way.
Super.
Do you have any questions for me before I check in on the food room?
No, just gratitude. Thank you, Alex. We really appreciate the opportunity to be a part of this.
Thank you. I'm so excited that Shannon kind of suggested that you guys come here. So very excited. I will try to come in and catch as much of your presentation as possible.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good luck. And
right.
And I'll see you soon.
All right. See you soon. Thanks, Alex. Bye.
So should we just hang out here?
Yeah. And then I was actually just making some little changes. I was noticing that I hung out forever on a slide that just had our website address. And I wanted to change
I don't think you hung out forever at all. You were fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine. Just saying.
Go into presentation mode.
Should I admit?
Maybe. This is Shannon.
Who's Shannon?
Shannon is our friend. She's the one who actually made all this happen. Let's just go ahead and admit her. I just did. Shannon.
Hey, dude.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm in the car picking up a rock, to be honest.
Nice.
But it's going as well as it can. It's
Oh,
good to see
cool.
your face.
Likewise, likewise. These are
All right, I'll mute off so you can do pregame.
okay. So far, we have all friendlies.
That's good.
I recognize that name, Linda Istanbuli. I think I know her.
Yeah, friends.
Oh, welcome, Bonnie. Welcome, friends. I'm going to give 2 more minutes for people to join before we get started. All right, I am going to jump in. Thank you everyone for being here. Can you all see a kind of big heart in the middle of your screen? Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Thank you for the thumbs up, Linda. All right. We are here today to share news about the birth of a hero. But first, a little bit about why we need a hero. An estimated 100 million tons, and that's 2 billion pounds of retail overstock is destroyed every year. If we could rescue all of that dead stock and get people to wear it instead of buying conventional clothing, the carbon savings would be equivalent to taking all passenger cars off of the road every year in the state of Pennsylvania. And that's our starting point at re-SKU. We seek out overstock and dead stock that would otherwise be destroyed, and we bring it back into circulation, providing it to customers as an alternative choice to conventional products. And we are proudly structuring our company to donate literally 100% of its profits to research that has potential to help us figure out how to make things in a way that does not cook our planet. We, for example, hope to make our first donations to a research partner of ours named Hue. They're creating a biosynthetic indigo blue dye for the denim industry. It's really cool science, and it is far less toxic than traditional denim dyes. And we're doing this because fashion is a really big part of the problem. A garbage truckload full of clothes is burned or landfilled every second of every day. Textile production is responsible for more emissions than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. Temperatures are rising worldwide due to greenhouse gases trapping more heat in the atmosphere. Droughts are becoming longer and more extreme around the world. Tropical storms are becoming more severe due to warmer ocean water temperatures. There's less snowpack in the mountain ranges and polar areas, and that snow is melting faster. Glaciers are melting faster. Sea ice in the Arctic and around the North Pole is melting faster. Sea levels are rising. Those are not my words. Those are direct quotes from the United States Department of the Interior. It is a huge relief to have an administration that is talking seriously about climate change and what public policy might do to fight it. But even the best public policy and the best hypothetical emission reduction targets will not be enough. And who knows what kind of US administration we'll have 4 short years from now. We need other heroes to help save us. And that's why this 8-year study by the Hartman Group is so mind-blowing and ripe with opportunity to be a catalyst for positive change. This study found that starting in 2015, people felt that their purchase decisions were more important than their voting decisions for how they could make a meaningful difference in the world. That insight and these facts are the core driving forces at re-SKU. We founded this company because we cherish living on a planet that is conducive to our flourishing as a species. And we are teetering on the brink of entirely preventable catastrophe. We will need many heroes to save us. This, we believe, is one of those heroes. Knowing that people are turning to purchase decisions as a means to make a difference, we created and market tested a small batch of product heroes. This one is our first. It is a re-SKU'd pair of Levi's. This is certainly not the first product hero the world has seen, but it might be the first whose only goal is to help save the world from climate change. That re-SKU heart is built around a scannable QR code. It's scannable in order to get things like jeans talking to people, telling us the story of where they come from and telling the story of how much or how little they are helping in our fight against climate change, so that people can make informed decisions and can choose to make purchases that are conducive to our flourishing as a species. And I want to clarify that everything I'm talking about here right now is very much alive and in the world. We beta launched re-SKU this spring, just last month, in fact, to test whether or not people would purchase these re-SKU'd jeans as one small step toward participating in the climate movement. Our long-term vision for relationships with our constituents is to offer meaningful engagement with the climate movement at different levels. And those range from making a purchase to signing a petition to taking to the streets. So now I'm going to take you to a live demo of where scanning that QR code heart that are on our jeans now currently takes people, which is our product hero page on the re-SKU website. But in order to contrast that first, we're going to look at a traditional product hero page. And so can you all see this Apple iPhone? Great. Here is the iPhone 12. As we scroll down, we learn more about the sexy features of the phone. You'll find Apple's latest formulation of value propositions, like bigger, higher definition screens, better edges, better cameras, etc. And contrast that now with our re-SKU product hero page. So scrolling down re-SKU's product hero page, instead of getting to know, the rivets and the buttons and the fit and the stretched denim that you might find on a traditional product hero page, re-SKU's product hero page reports on the climate facts surrounding the production of this particular pair of jeans. In this case, that is 20 kilograms of carbon, that is 2,912 liters of water, and 47 kilowatt hours of non-renewable energy consumed in the production of this pair of jeans. This particular data comes from Levi's own sustainability review and life cycle of a jean assessment. However, we are in dialogue with researchers, including one here at Penn State, about developing databases with capacity to independently report on things like greenhouse gas emissions and water usage, so that a scan of that QR heart could give us an independent assessment of the climate facts on any given product. Scrolling down further on the page, you see that the value proposition for re-SKU'd jeans is not how it might be bigger or better, but rather the value proposed is in carbon and greenhouse emission savings. And then further down, the value proposition is the fact that we donate 100% of profits to research. This page intends to communicate and demonstrate the power that consumers have to make a difference with an informed purchase decision. So this page is actually the very first iteration of our product hero, and this will change significantly in the near future. And now I'm going to switch back from our website back to the presentation, which is here. And I am going to share with you a rough sketch of where we envision a scan of that QR code heart label leading in the very near future. This is a sneak peek of where this is going, where we're taking this. So this is a first draft of a climate facts label that is inspired by the FDA's nutrition facts label. The idea is that any product with a QR code heart is scannable and will tell its story to anyone who wants to listen, so that they can make an informed choice in the same manner that people make choices based on information like calorie counts on a nutrition facts label. What if we could make it cool to wear clothing that proudly tells its origin story? Garments that tell us where they come from and how much or how little they are helping in our fight against climate change. At re-SKU, we are seeking storytellers, both people and products that speak to us and point us toward the path on which we can flourish as a species together with our planet. Thank you, Shannon Goff, Alex Allen, and the Studio for Sustainability and Social Action. We are so grateful for this opportunity to join this community. My name is Eli Andrews. I'm joined by my dear friend and co-founder, Martha Davis, and we would love to hear your feedback, answer your questions, and just have a conversation at this point. So I am going to stop sharing the screen and welcome you and say hi. What do you think? Thoughts, questions, feedback, anything?
I just would throw it out to the group. I wonder what everyone's sort of response to the analogy of using the nutrition facts label in something like a climate facts. Do you think that do you understand that analogy? Is it clear and intuitive? And do you think it might be something interesting? You know, we're really just kind of exploring with a vehicle to communicate what impact a particular product, an item, whatever it might be, has on our environment, and contrast it with different types of products that are doing a better job and having less of an impact or different types of impact. So I'm just curious what people think of that concept. Would welcome any comments.
We're getting some affirmative comments typed in here. Yes, Martha from Shannon. And Bonnie says, I think that is good there if you want. Curious, what were there any kind of aha moments for anyone in this presentation where you were hearing or seeing something and you're like, oh, I get it, or that makes sense, or that's really interesting? Were there any particular visual or verbal cues that drew you in, made you want to learn more, or you thought were compelling?
I think it's compelling. I mean, that's why I invited you to participate in this. But I wish we had some students here. I would love to know what a younger generation is thinking about in terms of this, in terms of what kind of offerings are immediately in the downtown area. And I'm talking about in relationship to like big box kind of places.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think there's maybe 5 concurrent presentations happening right now. So that might explain our situation. But I don't know, I feel like this, I know a lot about this because I've researched what you guys are doing and I believe in it. So have you thought about bringing it kind of locally, Eli, in any way?
I mean, yes, is the short answer to that question.
I mean, I know you just landed, but yeah, I'm curious to know
I mean,
long game.
yeah, I think long game, I would love for this to be a part of creating meaningful digital divide jobs. And by that, I mean a different kind of digital divide, maybe than we're normally talking about. But we're talking about, on the one hand, things talking to people. So something that's physical turning into a digital relationship that people are interacting with as well. I also think that Pennsylvania is one of those places where you have a huge section of people who are getting left behind in the digital economy. And so I think that as this scales and as there is need for dealing with things and digitizing those things, there's also a need and an opportunity to bring people in who are working with physical things and bring in digital education and digital transformation to that. So the short answer to your question is yes, we absolutely envision this being a part of creating jobs. And for just out of bias, because I happen to live here, Martha also actually has roots in Pennsylvania as well. So I know that we're aligned in being very interested in having this be a locally rooted kind of business that does partner. Also, just the fact that Penn State is here, and there's so much powerful research and different departments at Penn State that are directly relevant to what we're doing. So yes. We, interestingly, you touched on the point of young people. Our first market test on Facebook did not have young people as the people who were buying these. We were shocked at how quickly and how much of these jeans we were able to sell. We actually had to turn off our marketing campaigns about as quickly as we turned them on because we couldn't fill all the orders. But the demographic that was buying them on, these are from Facebook ads, were women largely between the ages of 54 and 65. Which doesn't mean that that is actually our ultimate market. I think our ultimate market is much lower than that. But I would also, another reason I'd be very interested in engaging more here is to connect with young folks on that side of it as well, and what is resonating there, because we assume that that's where a more natural fit is as well.
Well, let me know how I can be of service and as a bridge, Eli, and I will do the same for you.
Thank you, Shannon. I certainly will, and there are many ways that are coming soon. Particularly, like I said, because we have this initial market validation, which is we actually were not expecting to find it this soon, but these things are selling and it's ready to go into business, and that makes it very interesting in a more quick way than we had anticipated. So, heck yeah.
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I find the most compelling about this idea is the that you're creating a new criteria to measure value, and then you're also creating the language around it. So it's a multidimensional kind of work. It's a new language that is being created through this. And for me, when I was looking at the presentation, and I don't know if I missed something, but it's scanning the code itself takes me to your website, right? And to me, if I were a consumer, I want a more clear, kind of clear language of just take me straight to the facts, because I think it's more, has more impact than going to a website that is trying to tell me their story. See what I'm saying?
So
I think, yeah, I just want to comment. I think I completely understand that and get it. And I think that's kind of where we're heading towards with the climate facts label, the sort of the nutrition label. So
Because that will give me as a consumer a sense of, oh, I did something.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, agreed, absolutely. And so, yeah, we're just beginning to explore with something that clear, succinct, and how that could be communicated and if it would have impact. But agreed, yeah.
Yeah.
Good comment.
Okay, well, great work. I love it. You all know that I love it. I have to run. Wonderful. And I would love to, yeah, see more of this. Bye, everyone.
thank you, Linda.
Sure. Bye.
Levi, I sent you a message earlier, but I also have a 1:30 meeting that came up yesterday that is a serious matter. So I apologize that I must leave, but I look forward to the recording of this later. Thank you for
Likewise.
doing this. I appreciate it. And thank
Oh
you.
goodness, thank you for yeah, showing us. And Shannon, this is my dear friend and co-conspirator, Martha, this is my neighbor and new friend, Shannon.
Nice to meet you, Shannon.
Likewise, I hope we get to connect more. I
Yeah.
apologize. It's such a hairy time of the end of the semester.
No worry.
No worries at all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good job, Eli. It was really great.
Cool.
Good.
I'm gonna end this
Yeah.
meeting because it's recording us and it's like Penn State property. But I'm happy to jump on. Maybe we can debrief for a second. Okay.
Good.